Welcome back everyone, it's Mindy with Mindy Egan Design, and today I'm going to be making two cards for you, and we are going to be using the Skeleton Leaves incentive set from Gina K Designs. This is the incentive for August 2018, and using some alcohol lift ink. These cards turned out exactly how I had pictured. I couldn't be happier with it. I'm going to be starting with a piece of YUPO paper. This is about a 5x7 sheet, and I will end up cutting it down afterwards, but this is what I'm going to be starting with. You can see, have some blue rubber gloves on my hands just because I didn't want to have ink all over the place because this stuff takes a while to come off. I did use the alcohol blending solution and kind of just spread that all over the background. And now I'm coming in with a few different colors of alcohol ink. So here I'm using Limeade, Sunshine Yellow, and Watermelon, just sprinkling these drops all over the place. You can see I do not have any rhyme or reason for it. Now typically with these colors, most people would probably shy away from it because they tend to make brown if they're mixed. And you can see I do have some weird coloration in there. It's exactly what I wanted to do because with the Skeleton Leaves set, I'm thinking fall in mind. So there's reds, yellow, orange, greens, browns. So it's exactly what I wanted to do. So I spread those inks all over the background. That alcohol blending solution is moving everything really nice all over the place. And I just kept going. I just kept playing here. I should have just left it, but I just kept going and playing. I actually wanted to have more brown in there than what was there. Splattered some more of that blending solution in there to get that moving. And you can see I had dabbed up some of the excess that was building up. And those marks made for my paper towel kind of disappeared. And even when I am done spreading this around, I'm going to set it off on the side to dry. And it's going to look different than what you just see on camera because with it, it's still spreading. Until it completely dries, it's going to continue spreading with that blending solution. So you can see there's marks there, and those are going to disappear. So I just dab that up, and I'll lay that off on the side to dry. Now I'm going to come in and try some of this isopropyl alcohol. This is 91%. It's a really big bottle for not a very bad price. And these are some little droppers that I actually use for my essential oils, and it worked great. I just got some of that alcohol out of the bottle, and I'm going to spread that all over my YUPO paper that I'm using here again. And then I'll just do the same thing. I'm going to move that all around my paper, really get that in all the corners, and then bringing in the alcohol ink and just, like I said, no rhyme or reason, just squirting on some of that ink, and look how fast that moves. It really spreads that all over the place. This one actually kind of reminds me of a caramel apple. It turned out really pretty. Now that these are fully dry, I'm going to come in with the alcohol lift ink. I'm using a Misty tool to do this, and this is the Skeleton Leaves stamp set from Gina K Designs. So I'll remove one of these leaves, and I'm going to put this onto that alcohol ink background. I do also want to note when you're playing with the alcohol ink and the isopropyl, you want to be in a well-ventilated area because they do have a smell to them. So I just want to make sure you're aware of that. Then I'm going to come in and ink up my leaf with that alcohol lift ink, and I'm really giving this CPR. I really wanted to get a good impression. These stamps are very detailed, and look at that. I was so excited how this was turning out. Then I bring in a 5x7 piece of Neenah Solar White cardstock, really gave that a good press, and I got most of that impression off. Now I have seen Tim Holtz use like a Stazon cleaner for his stamps once he was done with that. Unfortunately, I don't have any Stazon cleaner, so I was just using a rag or my Gina K Tidy towel and some water. I'll have to invest in that Stazon ink to really get them a good clean, but for now, this is just what I had and what I had to work with. So you can see now I'm coming in and I'm trying to do 3 of them at one time. Worked beautifully, really giving this a good hard press. I use a rag to just kind of help move my hand around a little easier. And these are stamping off fabulously. So once you do have those on your alcohol ink background, you're going to take a paper towel, dab up some of that lift ink, kind of rotate your paper towel, dab up some more, and then you can rub it off, and it's really going to make those pop off of that alcohol ink background. This is such a gorgeous technique. You can get so many cards out of this. So this really helps, you know, if you're making a lot or kind of doing a little production line. These really give you quite a few cards. You can trim them down into smaller pieces. I use them as a full background, but you could really get a lot out of them if you trim them down even smaller. And then just finishing up here, stamping those off. So you can see I'm going to have two different backgrounds. And I did the same thing on my other piece of alcohol ink background. And then just dab, 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 move my paper towel around, and then wipe it up a little bit more. And that's really going to pop off. So here are the two alcohol ink backgrounds that I had created. And I'm also going to bring in the cardstock where I had stamped off. Now, sometimes I've had problems in the past where they didn't stamp off very well. I haven't quite figured out what the trick is for that. These really did turn out. I don't know if it's because I gave them CPR, but they are very detailed stamps and they stamped off really well. So I guess just a matter of playing around. I really don't have great advice on what the trick is yet, but you know, maybe giving it some more pressure would help. Now here what I'm doing is I took the friend die and the thankful script die, and I die cut probably 3 layers out of white cardstock. I really wanted to stack up and have some dimension with those. And then my final layer is out of gold glitter cardstock. And my shadow piece layer is out of the charcoal brown cardstock from Gina K Designs. So I already went ahead and attached those, so they'll be ready to add to my card. I did also go ahead and heat emboss a sentiment for each card. These are both off of the Stitched Leaves stamp set. There's some really great sentiments on there. The thankful and friend scripty stamp is on there too, but I used the die and then the shadow die for them, which I will have all of that linked down below in the video description and also on my blog. So I'm just finishing up here. I'm going to be attaching them to an A2 size white card base, and I'm using the Gina K Connect glue to attach all of those. And I'll do the same thing here, just using my tweezers to be able to maneuver those smaller pieces around a little bit more. And like I said, I'm really happy how these cards turned out. The colors are gorgeous. The stamp set is phenomenal, and I'm just so excited how the details of these leaves stamped out on this. These are beautiful. I'll create cards at a later time with the stamped off pieces. I was just really excited for these fall colors. And those are all finished. So I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Helps give you some ideas what you could do with this stamp set. If you did enjoy it, please give it a big thumbs up, share with your friends. I really appreciate all the comments and the love that I get out of the videos. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so, and I will catch you next time.